It was Christmas night, deep in the heart of the Second World War. Across America, families were gathered around warm fires, their homes filled with the scent of pine and cinnamon. They read Christmas cards from loved ones, their words a bridge across the miles, a small comfort in a world torn apart by conflict. But far from these scenes of domestic peace, one American serviceman sat alone. The air was thick with a biting cold, and the silence of the night was broken only by the distant, muffled sounds of a world at war. He wasn't by a fire. He was in a makeshift shelter, a temporary refuge from the unforgiving European winter. And in the dim, flickering light, he picked up a pen and began to write a letter that tragically would never be delivered. He wrote about the small things, the simple observations that grounded him in a reality far removed from home. He mentioned that the snow was falling heavily outside, blanketing the landscape in a thick white shroud. He wrote about the sharpness of the cold, a constant gnawing presence that seeped into his bones. His thoughts, he confessed, were drifting back home, back to familiar faces and cherished memories. He imagined the warmth of his living room, the joy on his family's faces, the simple act of being together. These were the details he chose to share, the little pieces of his current world, woven together with threads of nostalgia and longing. What he didn't write about was the fear. He didn't describe the chilling anxiety that was a constant companion in the trenches and on the front lines. He didn't mention the worry that gnawed at him, the uncertainty of what the next day, or even the next hour, might bring. He carefully avoided any mention of the harsh realities of combat, the loss, the struggle, because he knew the purpose of a letter home wasn't to alarm or to cause distress. Letters were lifelines. They were meant to comfort, to reassure, to paint a picture of resilience and hope, even when that picture was incomplete. His words were a shield, protecting his family from the full weight of his experience. He was fighting a war on two fronts, one against the enemy, and another against the despair that threatened to overwhelm the ones he loved. When he finished writing, the ink still fresh on the page, he folded the letter with care. Each crease was deliberate, a small, final act of affection. He slipped it into an envelope, addressing it to a home that felt a world away. Then he set it aside, a promise of connection waiting for the morning light. The plan was simple. When morning came, he would find a way to get it sent, to dispatch this small piece of himself across the ocean. But morning never came as he expected. The dawn broke over a changed landscape, and the routines of war, with their brutal and unpredictable nature, intervened. The letter, full of unspoken love and gentle reassurances, remained where he had left it, a silent testament to a future that would never unfold. Weeks later, long after the snows of that Christmas had melted and the front lines had shifted, the letter was found. It was discovered among his personal belongings, a collection of small items that told the story of a life cut short. The envelope was still sealed, the address clear, the stamp waiting. The words he had so carefully chosen, the thoughts he had poured onto the page, had survived. They were a tangible piece of him, a voice frozen in time. But the voice behind them, the hand that had written them, did not return. The soldier who had sat in the cold on Christmas night, dreaming of home, had become another casualty of the war, his final message left unread, unsent. His story is a powerful reminder that history isn't just written in the grand narratives of battles won and lost, or in the treaties signed by world leaders. It's also written in the quiet, personal moments, in the letters that never reached their destination. It's found in the hopes and fears of ordinary people caught in extraordinary circumstances. These untold stories are the heart of our shared past, and they teach us about the true cost of conflict and the enduring power of human connection. They compel us to remember not just the events, but the individuals, the sons, the brothers, and the husbands whose final words were left unspoken. This is why these stories from World War II matter so much. They are more than just historical accounts. They are deeply human documents, that connect us to the past in a profound and personal way. Each letter, each photograph, each memory is a thread in the vast tapestry of history. By sharing them, we honor the sacrifices that were made and ensure that the voices of that generation are not forgotten. Because history is not just about what happened, it's about the people it happened to. Thank you for joining us to remember this story. If you believe in the power of history to connect and inspire us, please subscribe to Civic Mind Facts for more stories that bring the past to life. We'll see you next time.